Hi, I'm Simon and welcome to the Unimerse, my YouTube channel dedicated to immersive film storytelling. What is immersive film or video? What is virtual reality? They're kind of interchangeable words for the same collection of things. And we all have an idea of what they mean. Virtual reality, in a way, kind of goes back as long as film itself. People are often surprised that things like stereoscopic 3D film, effectively seeing moving images in 3D, goes back nearly 100 years. It's something that's been around as an idea for a long time. And anyone who's my age will remember the sort of first incarnation of virtual reality proper at the end of the 80s, early 90s, which was a bit of a sideshow attraction. And, you might be in a games arcade and have a little booth where you put on a funny helmet of some sort and you see clunky square computer graphic images of a kind of made up roller coaster ride or something like that. They weren't very good, but they were the beginnings of technology trying to kind of come to terms with this idea of recreating a whole space that you were then inside, that you were part of. Now, my history is I'm a filmmaker. I'm based in the UK. I've been working with cinematic two-dimensional film for quite some time. And for the last 20 years or so, I've been playing with ideas and kind of questions about how you could tell a story and actually tell a story in a really compelling and powerful way with the viewer genuinely immersed in the world of the story. Now, it's only recently that we're kind of experiencing a really interesting moment in cinema and in video production and in virtual reality. So the technology is sort of catching up with some of those ideas now. So there are readily available 360-degree spatial capture cameras. So you can capture everything that's going on all around you with one device. There are different ways of doing it. There are two-dimensional 360 cameras which capture a kind of a flat image, but it's in like a sphere all around you. And then there are three-dimensional cameras that capture multiple images that then sort of stitch together, so you have one for each eye and you can look around a space and everything has a kind of depth. There's all sorts of difficulties with that. And exactly how this technology is going to meet up with how people are able to see these things and quite what form that's going to take as a popular art and entertainment form, nobody really knows. So we're at the start of developing what that might be. It's still a little bit of a gimmick, but the technology's got to a point where actually we can do something really interesting, really compelling with it. And we've got to start to define what that form is going to be. I'm signed up to do some PhD research study in New York in about a year's time, looking at exactly this, how we tell stories in that space. And it's quite a difficult question. So when you sit down in a cinema or in front of your TV or a mobile device, whatever, to watch a film or television program, everything is two-dimensional in a rectangular screen like the one you're looking at now. And your brain knows, the set's falling apart around me, your brain knows that it's two-dimensional. It knows that it's just a flat image in this rectangle, but it doesn't mind. Your brain sort of says, okay, fine, I realise that it's not real, but I'm going to suspend disbelief and take part in the story that's being shown to me. And a film director and cinematographer and editor use that they use certain languages so that you can understand the story, so they can guide you through that experience and kind of give you the experience that they want, artistically or in terms of entertainment and story. So they make all kinds of decisions about what's in the shot, what's in focus and what's not, whether something's accentuated by some other sort of stylistic means, how long the shot is, whether there's music playing or what's clearer in the soundtrack, because sound comes into this as well, of course. So there's all these different languages that can be used to kind of tell the story to the viewer. Now, imagine then that that frame is just blown away and the image goes all the way around you. And you're in a world where if you turn to the left, you see what's to the left of the camera. If you turn to the right, you see what's to the right. If you look up, you see the sky above. Suddenly the kind of the control that the director and the cinematographer have has changed. It's a different relationship with what you're seeing. And we don't really know what those languages are and how those kind of cinematic languages are going to change in how we use them in virtual reality, in immersive cinema. So there's a really interesting question to explore there, and developing that is something that's happening right now, and there's various people around the world playing with this technology and experimenting with it. So the Unimerse is my space to do exactly that. So I personally am experimenting with 360 degree and 3D imaging to kind of play with some of those ideas. But also this is about a dialogue. This is about encouraging other people to comment on that, to ask questions, to make suggestions, to give their ideas, and for other people who are experimenting with this form to give me links to their footage, their work, so that I can show that to people and we can include that in the conversation. There is also, of course, computer generated 3-dimensional virtual reality graphics, and that sort of animation side of things can come into it. I personally am interested in real world capture, live capture, and that sort of fits in with my film storytelling background. But that extends into animation and sort of special effects as well. So there's a place for all kinds of different approaches, and this should be a place to see that happening. And I'm going to be sharing that with you. So I'm going to be making more of these very flat 2-dimensional rectangular videos to talk about what's happening. I'm going to be getting involved in events and conferences and things like that, and trying to kind of draw out what's interesting from what's happening in virtual reality in those, I'm going to say immersive cinema rather than virtual reality, in those places. Virtual reality is very much something that's associated with kind of gaming and technology. I'm really focusing on how we use this as a medium to tell a story. So I'm going to be picking up on what people are discussing about that, what ideas people are having, and trying to bring them together in this space. If you're not used to viewing immersive content, have a go. YouTube and Facebook they both have kind of technology now so that you can see immersive video. It's pretty effective, it's quite simple, it works, it's easy enough to get into. The best thing to view things like that, if you don't have an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive, one of these dedicated headsets with a powerful computer, you can just use any good new-ish smartphone that has an accelerometer, so something that can tell when you're moving, and you can go on YouTube and the like, get onto a 360 spatial immersive video, and your phone will recognize that that's what it is, and you'll be able to move around the image to see, you know, in different directions. If you stick it in a viewer like this one, you can also even see 3D images with depth, and have a go, have a look at what's there. Have a look at what's here on the Unimerse. There's just a few little experiments there for now, and that's going to build up over time. And then, of course, we'll have more of these videos talking about what's going on, and hopefully inviting others to kind of talk about their input into it as well. This is a really exciting new kind of experiment in how we tell stories. We have this extraordinary moment where technology is enabling us to kind of envelop ourselves in whole new worlds that we are creating. That has the potential to be awful and addictive and offer all kind of opportunities to escape from reality, but it also has the opportunity to tell profound stories and a positive escape from reality, something that actually informs us and guides us in the way that only art and the best entertainment can. I think it's a real opportunity, and it's exciting to be involved in it, and I want others to be involved in it. I also have a Patreon page, Patreon, whatever you want to call it, which will be linked here at the end of the video. And if you actively want to get involved, go along there. You can make small donations, like as little as $2 a month, something like that. All of this, of course, costs money because the equipment costs are significant. There's not much of a market for creative, immersive content at the moment. So like all artists and creatives, this is something that it's very difficult to do in a vacuum. We develop and kind of define new technologies sort of from scratch. So every bit of support that we can get to do that is vital. So if you're really interested in being a part of it, you can go along there and put some money towards the costs of doing that and see that play out in all these experiments in defining this new form, and take part in something that really, I think, is the most exciting thing that's happened in imaging and storytelling in the last 100 years, since the beginnings of cinema. This could be a really new way of seeing. And I think it will be, and kind of is becoming already. And some of that's going to be happening right here. So watch, enjoy, like and subscribe. The more interest and involvement we get, the more people are going to see this and respond. Comment on things, criticize things, share your ideas, and show me what you're doing that's playing with this immersive form. Go along to the Patreon page if you want to get financially involved. That's amazing. And this is hopefully going to be a fantastic experimental journey that we can take together. So thanks very much, and enjoy, and bye for now.